The year is 1893 and we are in a Kurdish city called Mahabad, located in Iranian-occupied Kurdistan. During this time the city had about 50,000 inhabitants, today upon 250,000. That year a man is born. His name is Qazi Muhammad and he will in time become one of the most loved Kurdish icons. Qazi Muhammad grew up in a religious family. During his childhood, he witnessed a systematic oppression from Iran towards the Kurds. The Iranian regime regularly hanged Kurdish citizens as a part of the common fear that the Kurdish enemies had towards Kurdish nationalism and unity. Qazi Muhammad early became familiar with the Islamic law, Sharia, and built himself a respected spot in the local society. He had to learn Kurdish in private as the Kurdish language was forbidden. During World War II, the Allies invaded Iran in an attempt to secure resources from the Nazis. Even though Soviet worked against the Nazis, they also had another agenda. They saw a vision of the future where northwestern Iran would become a part of the mighty Soviet. Therefore, Kurdish nationalism was supported in the area. With Iranian absent, the Kurds could build up a Kurdish republic in the region. Within time, the Allies replaced the pro-Nazi Shah of Iran with his son, Shah Muhammad. In all political chaos, the Kurds of Rojhelat could enjoy more political freedom. In 1942, the Committee for the Revival of Kurdistan, also called Komala, was formed. Its goal was to unite Kurds in all four parts of Kurdistan. Oaths of political and national loyalty were sworn. Within the first month, secret schools were set up in order to expand the learning of the Kurdish language. As the political freedom expanded and expanded, the Kurds became openly hostile against Iranians in Rojhelat. In May 1943, several police stations were destroyed, and 2 years later, in 1945, the Komala party was dissolved and replaced by KDP, Kurdistan's Democratic Party. New and more realistic goals were set up. Kurdish autonomy within Iran. Qazi Muhammad became the KDP president. The Kurdish people relied on him and saw him as a sophisticated leader. He was well educated and knew 7 languages fluent: Persian, Turkish, Kurdish, Arabic, English, French, and Russian. Now Kurds from other parts heard about the success in Mahabad. Some Kurdish reinforcement arrived to the city. Among them was Mullah Mustafa Barzani, leader of the powerful Barzani clan. He arrived to Mahabad from a failed rebellion against the Iraqi regime and had over 1,500 soldiers with him. Qazi Muhammad arranged his new government. 5 highly ranked generals was placed under him to lead the Mahabad army. The generals, Muhammad Qazi, Khairullah Abdul Karim, Mustafa Khoshnau, Izzat Abdul Aziz and Mustafa Barzani now controlled an army of 13,000 people.
Mala Qazi Hizb Kobowa Bowe Kanavi Chagdari Kurdi Navi Chibne Chaichi Mala Qazi Ahmad Dasmal Hata Jule Ruida Qazi Kida Peshawa Kti Kurban Kurdavari Ktueti Piri Peshina Ktuana Margam Rapez Margid Kide Kawabu Nevnin Peshmarga Litegra Alamaka
In December 1945, Azerbaijan declared independence from Iran. Qazi Muhammad was invited as a guest of honor. The Kurds were inspired and saw their chance to establish their own republic. A few weeks later, 2 flags were raised in Mahabad, one representing Kurdistan and one representing Mahabad. In January 1946, Qazi declared the region of Mahabad as an independent Kurdish republic. Every resident of the city was empty as people celebrated on the streets. With the Kurdish anthem in the background, Qazi Muhammad swore his loyalty to the new republic. However, the Kurdish joy were to become short-lived. In March 1946, Britain left Iran. 1 month later, Soviet also left, and without any military protection or economic support, the new Kurdish republic was threatened.
خوی پیاوە کرد زۆر کەس ڕووی خۆی ڕەش کرد زۆر کەس چوگوزاریشی دا خاڵی دا بە عەجەمان ڕاستەی کەلامی دی هەتا کاری خۆیان کرد.
Many tribes who before had sworn their loyalty saw a massacre coming and left. In December 1946, Iran invaded Azerbaijan. Qazi Muhammad called for a gathering of the society. He asked the people for their opinion. Do you want us to fight or surrender? The people couldn't see any way for them to stand against the Iranians. In an attempt to avoid a massacre, people voted for surrendering. Qazi Muhammad called some of his closest to a crisis meeting. In this meeting, Mustafa Barzani said to Qazi Muhammad, "As a Peshmerga, I want to stay with you, and I will serve you until the day we die. But you and me, we have to leave Mahabad." Qazi answered, "I am not leaving. I brought this upon our people. If I leave, they will say that I abandoned them." However, Qazi had one last request for Barzani. He took out the Kurdish flag from his pocket and told Barzani to protect it with his life. This is the symbol of the Kurdish nation. Mustafa Barzani promised and shook his hand with Qazi Muhammad. He then left with his forces and soon fled to Soviet, where he would stay for many years before returning back to Kurdistan. In December 17th, Iran took over Mahabad, saying that they didn't face any opposition. However, many civilians were taken prisoners, charged of treason. Among them were Qazi Muhammad, his brother Sadr Qazi, and his cousin Saifi Qazi. Qazi was charged with separatism, treason, and being a Soviet agent. A few days later, the rumors of Qazi Muhammad's execution spread. People were crying as they soon saw the body of Qazi hanged in public. He was executed in March 21, 1947. A wave of executions followed in Rojhelat. However, the Kurdish Republic has not been forgotten, neither has its leaders, who today, over 60 years later, is a symbol of nationalism.